Hello and welcome to this week's episode of So Fired. I'm Chelsea Toronto.
I'm Dr. Lindsay Regier.
And welcome each week on So Fired. We take life's pretty things and turn them into shitty things.
Sometimes it be like that.
And then we throw it away because it was good as it is, and I fuck with it one too many times. It's like, no, it's true. Okay, and then we have issues and we try and laugh at them.
Welcome.
I'm Chelsea.
This week we're talking about the 7 deadly sins.
Ooh, watch out.
Ooh.
As if I needed more than one.
Do you have a So Fired moment?
Yes, I had plans and I didn't have plans. And then as a result, I was like, meh, I don't have plans and I'm all dressed up with nothing to do. So I sat down on my outside couch, bed, satay, and started reading a book, Someone Else's Shoes by JoJo. What's her name?
Siwa.
No. JoJo from the last week's golf journey. There's so many JoJos.
There are. Like JoJo the singer from back in the day.
That's who I keep thinking of. No, none of those. But she wrote a shit ton of books. And I was like, this bitch does so much stuff. This is my issue too. Like, maybe I could do like 4 things in a day.
Mm-hmm.
Work out, get dressed, dogs, work.
Mm-hmm. That's 4 things.
That's 4 things. This bitch has written like 2,800 books. And I was like,
well, that's also her job.
Yeah.
So when you're going to work, she's going to work on her laptop.
See, this is why my bestie's like great. But this woman, and they're like substantial books.
Oh.
I'm going to look her up. Anyway.
Yeah.
So that's my So Fired. The book's really good. Oh, but the book is giving me anxiety because it's like one character. They switch gym bags.
Oh.
And there's a Christian Louis Vuitton in there that is changing everyone's life. One for the better, one for the worse.
Ooh, okay. I'm totally going to read this book.
Oh, it's fantastic. It's really great.
Nice.
It's just like a perfect summer read, as they would describe it.
Ooh, beach read.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so my So Fired is that finding a job is hard. And I had an interview the other day, and I found out that Verizon is running a pyramid scheme. So I show up, and it's like a marketing position, and the guy who's interviewing me, he's like, "Thanks for coming in. Like your resume said like this," and he's like, "I'm so sorry. I'm so nervous. It's my first
Was that
interview."
you attempting to act?
Yeah, I know. I was like, "Are you like pretending to be professional, or like what's the deal here?" And he was like so nervous. And I was like, I get you, man. Like, I totally understand. It's so nerve-wracking, isn't it, to interview your first potential employee? And he's like, yeah, it is. And then we're talking about schedule. And he was like, so, like, do you have like work conflicts? I'm like, I do. I host a podcast every single week. And he's like, what's it called? And I gave him a little elevator pitch. And he's like, wow, that was amazing. He proceeds to tell me about the job and the hours. And like, it's a shit job, shit pay. And I was like, great. I just wasted like an hour of my life being here. And I'm like, I'm never going to find a job that I want to do that pays well. So I'm like, meh. But at the end of the interview, I turned it around and I was like, you know what? You did fantastic. You're such a good interviewer. I'm like, you're going to crush this. Like, you're doing so well. So I was so fired that I could turn the tables on him and make him feel good. And I pitched the podcast.
Always be selling.
That's right.
Or closing.
Yep.
Always be closing.
Mm-hmm. All right. What other issues do you have?
I have quite a few. I have let's see. Let's start with the white pair of jeans that I'm wearing. Last season, I loved you. This season, your cut's funny. You make me look bad. What's up, white jeans?
That's what I'm saying. It depends on what day you put the white jeans on. They either look amazing or they look fugly.
I'm like, what other issues do I have? I feel like I had others that I wanted to tell you about.
I have an issue. Yeah. I was working chiropractic work, and this guy came in leggings, like tights, and like nothing on top, like no shorts on top, just like leggings. Like, that is disgusting. I don't want to see your balls like bulging out while I'm adjusting you. And I'm just like, that's a thin layer of material. Then you like want me to get like closer to like your back and like your legs. And
Did you just tell him I'm not comfortable here?
Yeah, I should.
Oh, last week you could speak up for yourself.
I know.
Tank a deal. And now this week you're like, oh, okay, I'll push back these balls.
I know. Like, these balls are intimidating me.
Well, that they're intimidating. You're just like, I'm a little put off by them.
I'm very put off by them. So if you're a dude and you're wearing tights or leggings,
Ew.
please put shorts on top. Like, you are not to be walking around in leggings. Mm-mm.
Well, walk around in them. Just be mindful of your practitioners.
Yeah. But do you like to see a guy walking around in leggings?
Whether or not I like it or not is not for me to decide. But if I have to perform and my hands have to touch your body, we should have set agreed upon what's appropriate to wear and not, in my opinion.
Mm-hmm.
Maybe somebody doesn't like to see me wearing something. And for that, I'm sorry.
I'm not. Well, do you have any other issues?
I forgot them all. I think I have issues with men and maybe women.
Oh, so everyone.
Yep. Men, what the heck? Guys, what's up? I guess you get what you tolerate. Fine. Ladies, you want plans, you want to be friends, you want to hang out, then when said person invites you, you should do it. You should accept the invitation. I think I invited 3 people to hang out yesterday.
Mm-hmm.
Now, I get what you're going to tell me. Oh, yesterday was different because of whatever. But it's not just, I invited people to do things and they're just like, meh. I have an issue with the fact that adult things are really only kick off after midnight.
What kind of adult things?
I'm talking adult things. Why does it have to be midnight? Why can't it be in the middle of the day? I was going to go do something with my friend Sherry, which is a midnight kind of activity. Just why so late? It's well, I don't know. That's when stuff happens. So I don't think that that's ever going to change. But it's yeah, you're right. Why does it have to start so late? Let me think. What other issues do I have?
Well, then you find other people that
can stay up late.
Yeah, can stay up late.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. I'm having a hard time this summer. I'm having an issue with this summer. It doesn't feel as fun as last summer. This summer's
I feel like the summer hasn't even really started yet.
Weather-wise?
Yeah.
Okay, I'll give you that.
So yeah, it hasn't really felt very summery, and I feel like there's just, I don't know, a lot of tumultuous times, and nothing is smooth sailing.
Right.
Mm-hmm. But also I'm I don't know, I think July is when summer is going to start.
When's life going to start?
God, I hope soon.
I don't even know what that looks like. Oh man. I don't know why. My life's no different.
Yeah.
I don't know why I'm oh, life's so hard. I mean, your life is legitimately hard right now.
It's legit hard. I never know what the day is going to bring. Is it going to be a bunch of shit thrown at me, or is it going to be a great sunny day?
Well, today's a great sunny day.
It is a great sunny day.
I have a declaration. I think I'm going to swear off all recreational companionship. I'm saying it right here, right now. I'm going live.
So, no casual things.
No.
So then where does that leave you? Because you don't really want to date.
It leaves me reading.
Okay. And then if the right person comes along.
A lot of 21st dates.
Okay. So you just want to go on a date?
No. Actually, no? I don't. I want nothing to do with anybody.
Oh, okay.
I think I'm better off.
You're entering your sloth era.
Yeah.
Yeah. I think, like you're saying, you get what you tolerate. So if it is going to be a casual thing, you got to put a boundary in, or tell yourself in your head, this is what it is. And you call the shots. Don't be waiting around for someone to be okay, now's the time.
It's not that easy, though. It's not that easy. You say you call the shots, but then somehow people's expectations are not met. And then inevitably. So if you have to explain and do asterisk here, if that, but not this, if this, but then when, you know what I mean? That kind of stuff.
A fill in the blank of
something. I don't know what we're trying to describe, but if there's ways that it's not just clay thrown on the table, that's it.
Mm-hmm.
And you have to, oh, well, then it's probably not right.
Well, if you're going to be reading a lot of books, I have a lot of book suggestions for you.
Great. I
Yeah.
look forward to that. I don't know. I just don't. You know what? Let people work harder. Give me a reason to want to hang out with you.
Okay. So today we're talking about the 7 deadly sins, right?
Mm-hmm.
And I think what are we talking about? Oh, I was telling you about, did you watch the show, Dave?
I did.
Yeah. And I was talking about Brad Pitt because Brad Pitt was on that show. I think that show is funny as fuck.
Yeah, it's pretty funny. I can see why you like it.
Yeah. And the fact that Brad Pitt was on it, I'm like, what? Like, that's an A-list celeb on this. I think the show is kind of small.
I don't think it's that small.
Yeah, it's gotten bigger.
It's huge.
Basically, if you haven't seen the show, it's about Dave, Lil Dicky. He's a white Jewish rapper. And
I love Jewish dudes. It's a real soft spot in my heart.
Yep, and all of the situations he gets himself in. So Brad Pitt was in the
kind of a Larry David of sorts, but like a palatable Larry David.
Yeah, not like cringe.
Yeah, there's less cringe for sure.
Way less cringe. So Brad Pitt was in this show. And then
this particular episode.
Yeah, episode. And then what was I talking about? Like, oh, like I know Brad Pitt from like Ocean's 11 and like that's what I think about Brad Pitt. I'm like, oh yeah, he's in like Ocean's 11.
Yeah, that's a good one. And I said, I know him from the 7 Deadly Sins.
I was like, I don't even know what that is.
So. Yeah, Morgan Freeman was the other detective.
Okay. I will.
And they were on the hunt for, there was a serial killer and he was doing bad deeds and the clues were the 7 Deadly Sins. And at the very end, they found Brad Pitt's wife's severed head in the desert.
Oh.
It was very disturbing. It was super sad.
Spoiler alert.
Yeah, you know what? The movie's been out for a minute, so I think it's okay, right? I
mean, it's okay. You know, I'll never watch it.
If you haven't yet, we're talking like 1997 or something.
Okay.
It's been around a minute.
So yeah, so we're talking about the 7 deadly sins. So I thought that we should just like go through them and kind of see where we're at in life if we're like doing the 7 deadly sins.
Okay, let's do it.
Okay, so the first one is gluttony, which is just like too much. I definitely do this. I mean, I have no self-control when it comes to like ice cream and cookies, and I want to eat everything in sight and like binge eat my face off until I'm sick in the stomach, and then I'm good.
I think I'm a glutton for punishment.
Why?
I think because I think what gluttony is not just the actual consumption of something in excess, but like consuming past knowing I'm consuming this despite knowing that it's going to make me sick.
Mm-hmm.
Right? Like, hey, these behaviors I'm doing when hanging out with others, they are going to make me sick. Like if you stop me before I leave the house all dressed up and ready to go and be like, hey, because there are potential ramifications as a result of this. And if you caught me in a very honest moment, I'd be like, yeah, of course there is. And that's gluttony because it's like, no, I want it, even if it is going to make me sick. Right.
Yeah. So I don't know how you, like, just change your behavior. It's not that easy.
No.
I don't know how you stop being a glutton for punishment.
We're not here to tell you to change it.
Okay. So then there's pride, which is just being like too self-satisfied. And I feel like pride is just having an ego, right?
Sure.
Yeah.
Do I have an ego?
I think you can.
I have an ego, but I don't think I have like pride getting in the way of things.
No. I would say, no, I don't think so. And when like ego isn't always like the worst thing. Sometimes it's just like you're feeling like super confident. You're like,
yeah, no, I don't know. They're not. I think they should. What's another word? Okay.
I was thinking like I have so much pride in like running my business. Like I will not give up. I'm like, like I got this. It almost turns into being delusional because I think that I can just figure everything out. And I'm so resourceful and like self-reliant. I'm like, no, I got this. And like
it's turning into you're sabotaging yourself.
Yeah, I know. That's like the ugly side of it.
Yeah. It's great.
So yeah, so I'm like trying to like not do that. You know, I'm back to work right now. So yay. Honestly, I think it's just the push I needed. I was like, oh, I'm done and I'm checked out. And now I'm back full force. I'm like, this is actually really fun. Hey besties, do you want to get high naturally? HigherDose is a one-of-a-kind at-home spa experience at the intersection of wellness, health, and beauty. The infrared sauna blanket detoxifies the body and mind with a healthy sweat that boosts your mood. You don't even have to move a muscle, and you can get a full body workout. And it expedites your recovery, makes your skin nice and glowy, and calms down your nervous system. So, with the infrared sauna blanket from HigherDose, it increases your metabolic rate, increases circulation, lowers inflammation, so it makes you a little bit less puffy, strengthens the immune system, quickens your muscle recovery, and it naturally increases your brain's happy chemicals. And happy people don't kill people, as Elle Woods would say. And plus, it's super sleek and portable. Get your higher dose sauna blanket using our link in our show notes.
Oh.
Yeah.
You know what it is? I think if you know the hard truths of like a cubicle, a place without a window,
Yeah.
now you get that. I've been preaching the be careful, the fears of sitting in a place without a window in a cubicle for so long. I think now you can kind of start to like identify with what I'm saying, right?
Yeah. And then
Wherever your jail is professionally and you're stuck there and you're like that your job was never that bad to begin with, that you are willing to like triple down and work 7 days a week if that's what it means.
Yeah. And now like my patients came in yesterday and I'm like, surprise, I'm back. And they're like, oh, we love having you back.
Good.
Also feeds the ego when people are like, yeah.
Pride.
We love
right
you.
back. Well, you know, think about it. It's like nothing makes you fall back in love with your estranged spouse than dating.
Is that true?
Well, think about it. Kind of. There are times where it's like, not that bad. Think about it. How much do you love your job?
I mean, now I love it. I'm like, yeah, I have windows. I can leave the door open. Layla's with me at work. Yeah. And
it was never bad. It was just.
And
so
I was
maybe,
like, oh, I'm going to do some marketing again. I haven't done like a contest. I broke out the putting green. I'm like, okay, we're just going to like make it super fun.
Right.
Mm-hmm.
Right.
So I think I forgot about that.
Good.
Yep. Okay. So the next sin is greed. You know, wanting an excess of everything. I don't know. I feel like it can also turn into like trickery or like manipulation. So I think maybe it's just like I can be greedy if I'm feeling really like insecure about myself. And then I'm going to try to like claw my way out in front of like everyone and like to be on top. I'm like, get out of my way. Like I want to win or like I want the recognition, or I'm going to try to do.
You know, I can give you examples.
Yeah.
Do you know what examples I'm thinking of?
Probably so.
So I don't have to say it. You already know.
Well, you should, because I don't know if everyone else knows what example you're talking about.
You've said them on air. There were like 1 or 2 times where like I was front facing and you were like,
and I was like,
yeah, and then you publicly tried to pull me down.
Yeah.
And that was your inner ego.
That was ugly.
It was ugly.
That was some ugly greed.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, I'm trying to like keep that in check. What about you?
I feel kind of greedy, like in scarcity when it comes to anything relating with my brother, in the sense that like I want his life. But the thing is, there's nothing about me that would work well in his life, like his Cherry Hills life with his children and his first grader and his kindergartner and private schools.
I think maybe that's more like envy.
Yeah, but it's like I want that. I want that so bad.
Yeah, that's envy.
Okay,
that's the next sin.
It is.
Yeah.
Well, then I'm greedy. I don't know.
So yeah, like envious. That's how we start to thrive out of spite. Right?
Is envy?
Yeah.
Oh yeah. Well, then it's killing me. I actually think my relationship with my brother is and I think I'm just coming to this realization now that whatever he and I are experiencing, this like turmoil, is my portion that I'm bringing to it is all envy. The resentment that you're living the life that I wanted to live, but am not fit to live. Makes me feel rejected as a result. Like, you're too much of a fuck up to live this Cherry Hills dream of yours.
I feel like I'm just envious of people who like get to travel all the time and like go out all the time. And I'm trying to like prove myself wrong that I'm unemployable.
Yeah, well, I'm right there with you. I literally was talking to the girls at Rebel yesterday and I was like, there's nothing. And Kennedy's looking for a job.
Oh.
And actually, they both are, but Kennedy is actively looking. She's waiting on a drug test because they test for cannabis. And she's like, who tests for cannabis in a legal state? Come on. She said she probably put close to like 1,000 resumes out and got like 5 back.
Yeah, I feel that.
I told you,
Mm-hmm.
these are tight times. And just like with you falling back in love with your practice,
Mm-hmm.
while I wasn't looking for a new job, now hearing about the scarcity of employment out there,
Mm-hmm.
I have doubled down on my efforts at work. I'm showing up
Yeah.
a half hour early, an hour early. Hey, I just want to check in and make sure my performance is up to standards.
Give me a raise, God damn it.
I think I'm worth more. But then they all say that, don't they?
Well, I think you should actually be getting a raise at least every year. It's called inflation.
Right.
Yeah.
Cost of living.
Mm-hmm.
Well, maybe I will say that. I was like, Pino, what do you think? And he's like, well, I'm not going to answer that because you're going to want a raise. And I was like, that's the nicest thing anyone's ever said to me.
Like, that'll keep me happy for the next few months.
Until it doesn't, and I threaten to quit again. Actually, I would never.
No,
value
because
my-
he would be like, okay, bye.
Yeah, no, I would.
Yeah.
He would say, let me walk you out the door.
Mm-hmm. Okay, so the next sin is lust. So anything you really desire, not just sex.
Companionship.
Mm.
And this is a sin because it's getting me, I wouldn't say it's like not getting me in sin trouble, but like I'm putting myself out there in a way that is reckless. Not like, oh, I'm meeting a Tinder person, but like I am not being kind and like protecting my heart. So I'm putting myself out there and allowing like people to take advantage of a situation.
Mm-hmm.
And that's where I think that's causing me harm. Like my, yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. It's almost like you're just hurting yourself.
I am hurting myself.
Mm-hmm. I mean, I'm just lusting after being rich and famous.
At this
Aren't
point,
we?
I'm like,
I'll take rich.
I'll just take white jeans that work with like the right pair of shoes to go with my white jeans. You know what I mean?
I know.
Fuck.
Why is it so hard?
I feel like I'm like managing. For the such a okay. We're gonna go off on a tangent. Okay, so sometimes for my friend's sake, I will do like I'll talk zany things. A lot of it is for entertainment. Would you understand this? That like some of the times I call you on the phone and like I'm going on a tangent in certain routes.
Mm-hmm.
I'm kind of doing it as a bit.
Yeah, you're just trying to get a response.
And I'll like ham it up a little bit.
Yeah.
And sometimes that will like sexual stories or like gal this, guy that kind of thing.
Mm-hmm.
And, you know, like some of it's real, but then Lindsay knows the real me who's usually at home with ice cream or fucking
reading your book outside.
Yeah, I mean, like
cuddled up with Butch and Sunny.
There's like a little bit of there's like what I want people to think me as, and then like there's the real. Okay, so that being said, okay, I don't know if I did a fine job of leaning this in, but like, you know, I'll talk all these things.
You're like, I want to like do freaky shit.
Right. Okay. Yeah. So that's where this.
Oh. So since Chelsea is presenting as like, yeah, I love freaky shit. Can I read that text?
Yeah. No, not really. I mean, you could talk about it.
I'm not going to say who it's from.
Yeah.
It's up to you.
Yeah, say it.
Okay, so she's like, someone texted her like, hey, I'm like so horny right now. What do I do? When you got that text, like the person's probably thinking like, yeah, she knows what's up. Like she's going to tell me what to do. And you get the text and you're like, what the fuck? I don't want this. I don't want this at all.
Okay, what? I was like, ew, what? I don't. I was like, yeah, well, go to YouTube, like everybody does. Like, I'm like, give me a little more direction. What's the real question here? Like, ugh. And I was like, oh no, I've dug myself. People think I'm that. I went 7 years without having sex. I mean, like, don't look to me for answers.
You just have a lot of like energy pent up. And you're like, yeah, like I'm down. And then it's like, well, I mean, I am if it's like convenient between the hours of like 10 to 12. And like, and like I'm feeling good. I'm gonna write my outfit on. Yeah.
Yeah, no, I got that. That really threw me for a loop, huh?
Well,
I was kind of bummed, actually.
I don't know. You're a resource.
Indeed.
Yeah. Okay, so I think the last one, oh, there's two more. Sloth. You know,
I'm in a sloth state.
yeah, sloth era.
Yeah, I'm in a sloth
Mhm.
era. I'm just not using my brain.
Mm. No, you are. Remember how hard we tried yesterday to figure out what the radius is of the skirt that you're going, like the waist circumference of the skirt? You guys, okay,
Do you
let me
see why I get a
remind
little
you that I am
anxiety?
a doctor and I went to school for a very long time. And Chelsea's like, okay, I'm trying to make the skirt. I need to figure out what this measurement is. I am doing calculations. I'm Googling things. We're looking on YouTube. I'm doing the math. The whole time, the answer was right in front of us. There was a very nicely laid out chart saying, like, this is the exact measurement that you need based on this one measurement that you took. I'm like, why am I so dumb? My brain is definitely not being utilized.
It's not easy, though, is it?
Well, it was just like,
It could have been easy.
why was it
We
so
could have made it.
hard?
Yeah. Thank God for that book and the chart, huh? But I didn't really look at the chart,
Oh,
clearly.
yeah.
Do you think did we get to that answer in the absence of the chart?
Yeah, we did. Mhm.
But you see now why that gives me anxiety, right?
Yeah.
That's where I get tripped up. Actually, you know what? That's my So Fired of the Week. I'd like to amend it. Okay, so my So Fired of the Week is I've decided to start sewing again. I said that 6 months ago. Yeah, I know.
But
whatever.
today's the day.
Today's the day. And I was like, ooh, I want to do this properly. I want to resew this properly. So I'm going to like start with a pattern and do the math, or at least do some of those things. Doing the math was giving me anxiety, and I got the books out and I was like, you know what? I don't have to figure this out. I'm going to ask Lindsay. So I knew enough to, you know what? I'm not going to stress myself out. I'm going to kick it on over to you, let you figure it out, and then I'll get to the parts that I am good at. And that was a real win for me.
That was a win.
You know what else was so fired? This morning, I went into my kitchen pantry and I saw that there were donuts in my pantry. What's the so fired? That they were actually in the pantry, because normally they're consumed in one sitting. So the fact that I received them, ate some, had enough to put back and put it away, I was like, wow.
Wow.
Mm-hmm.
That is wild.
Yeah, no, that was a real win.
That is a win.
I'm really trying to be very mindful of my binge eating. So I find that I like binge, read, and eat.
Oh, gotcha.
Like they're like, ooh, you know how people get triggered with snacks when they're about to sit down?
Yeah.
I kind of get that way with reading.
Oh, I love to have a hot cup of coffee and a giant mug and read a book. That's like, because it's too much to have like my hand on food and on the book.
For sure.
Yeah.
Right. I noticed that last night. I was like, ooh, it's going to be a good part. Let me go get a snack, then eat it. It's like, okay, well, the so far to this is also that like I'm cognizant of it.
That is that's a win.
That's it.
Yay.
Another so fired.
And another thing
is that because Ken and I are doing one of my biggest bucket lists is by going backpacking in the middle of July in Aspen for 4 days.
Mm-hmm.
That I'm very mindful of my consumption, how much I'm eating, what am I eating? Because for 4 days in the wilderness, that's going to be something that I'm more concerned about that than my physical exertion and being in shape.
I would also be concerned.
Confirm for me or concern for you?
For me and you, like hot girl stomach issues, especially camping. Like, I don't know, the food you have to eat, it stresses me out.
Yeah, I'm stressed out about it.
Okay, we have one more deadly sin.
What is it?
Wrath. So being very vindictive and angry.
This might be my biggest one. Why is it a sin?
What? I don't know, because it's vindictive. Because you're hurting people. I would say, like, it takes a lot to get a wrath out of me. Oof. You really have to, like, cut me down and break me down multiple times in order for me to, like, cut you out. But, like, I'm not one to fight with my words. Oof. I'm just like, okay.
So how is this affecting you? It's not really. It's probably your least.
Yeah, probably my least. Yeah, I don't know. I'm just, like, not a fighter. I don't really get like that angry.
This is my biggest problem. This is, of all the 7, this is the one that gets me.
Why do you think that is?
I don't know if it's a childhood thing that we were raised to fight with our words, that there's a lot of like,
You know what I think about when you get angry? I'm like, I think about you being like 5 years old and like stomping your feet around. And you're like, yeah, I want it my way. Like, meh. And then that makes me laugh.
So here's my
I'm
childhood.
like, that's cute.
Good. Whatever it takes. I grew up and they were always like, stop talking, be quiet. No, another word out of your mouth. That's it. You're out of here. And I'm like, no. And they're like, so I do feel like I was very stifled. And like there was a lot of childhood anger that I don't know, misplaced or wasn't properly placed or addressed. Yeah, if I feel slighted, it is an ugly, it's tough. Like I lost my shit on somebody this weekend.
How'd that end up?
I didn't get my rain pants back. I can get them back. I can kiss those goodbye.
Well, you probably wanted a new pair anyways.
For sure.
Yeah.
But the fact that I couldn't manipulate this person enough was getting me very frustrated. So I figured by saying really hurtful things, somehow that logic will get them to respond the way in which I want them to. And they don't. And they didn't.
Mean, I think that works on some people in your life, but not everyone.
Yeah, but the thing is, it actually ends up just like the lust or whatever one,
Mhm.
it ends up hurting me even more
Mhm.
because then it's like, I probably wasn't in the wrong in the first place,
Mhm.
but then the way in which I react and respond puts me in the wrong. So now I'm hurt because of the initial whatever incident.
Yeah.
Then my poorly worded response makes me feel guilty. And then because I look like an asshole, now I'm the one that loses twice.
Damn. Then you have to go back into sloth mode.
Mm-hmm. And not get your needs met. And then you lash out and like slut around because you're hoping that that will make you feel better because you're looking for something that is insatiable and the greed and the appetite because you don't want to binge. Is this a sexaholic anonymous? What the fuck is happening right now? God damn it.
Sexaholics not anonymous.
I did that once. Non-anonymous. You heard it here first. I did that once in college and they're like, no, you just drink too much. No, that's not this.
Oh my god. I remember I had to go to like an alcohol class. I got
Were we alcoholics together?
Yeah, 100%. Oh my god, like the fact that I would like black out every time I had hard alcohol, or like one time I was so freaking drunk and I was trying to get across town to my husband's house and I crawled through the bushes. I thought going through the bar was a shortcut. So I stumble into the bar. I have no shoes on. My knees are scraped up. And I was like, I'm trying to get home. I live right there. And then they're like buying me shots. And I was like 19 or 20, I think. I think I was 20. And I'm like, yeah, I need more drinks. Like, that'll help me out. And I'm like, I live that way. I'm like, so freaking lost. Stumbled to his house, pass out drunk, and like my bloody knees get like all over everything. Hot freaking mess. Like, how did he marry me? I don't know. He's a saint. Like, you dealt with that from the second you started dating me?
We weren't drunk all the time.
Not all the time, but when I got drunk, I got like real drunk. Yeah.
When did that stop happening? I don't think I knew that. I've never saw that side of you.
Probably when I was like 25 or 26. Once I went to like grad school, I've like tapered it off. I mean, I still drank a little bit, but it was like not like that crazy.
I don't remember you drinking.
Yeah, I kind of like stopped drinking once I moved here, or like just like very social. Because I mean, I got my underage. I had to go to alcohol class, and then of course, like during alcohol class, we're like, "Where's the party tonight?"
Oh my god, no, you did not.
Yeah, we did. My college house, we made the news on homecoming because we're doing keg stands in the front of the yard, and we were on the news for it, like holding people up, doing keg stands and counting. That's a proud moment.
I did a keg stand not that long. Well, I mean, certainly it was like 12 years ago, but it was like maybe one of the last summers before I stopped drinking.
Mm.
So it was one of the most recent drinking memories I do have. Oh. If that makes sense.
Yeah.
Yeah, and it was the day I almost died. So Doug, thank you. he took me to a golf tournament and we rolled up hot last minute, still hungover from whatever. And it was a golf tournament. Like, we didn't eat. So we were drinking on an empty stomach, and like hole 2 or 3 was a keg stand, which I proceeded to do because I was cool and I could hang and I was going to be fun girl. God, I shape shift to be with the people that I want to be with. I should stop doing that. So
I kind of do that too.
I feel like, right? I
like,
shape shift for you.
Yeah.
To you or Ken a little. You know what? I'm not shape shifting that much.
I don't think you shape shift to me.
Or Ken.
No. I think that like we all kind of have to shape shift a little bit depending on the situation. Or like you were so young back then. You're like, I'm gonna do whatever I can to like hang out, like be cool.
To hang on is more like it. To,
so
like, get this guy to stay liking me.
Yeah.
So I do a keg stand. And they're like, oh my God, you're amazing. And then like there's a floater on top of like a can of beer or whatever. It was a classy event. Actually, it might have been classy, but I declassed it. Then he was driving in the golf cart. Didn't say hang on. Whips it to the left. Cart goes to the left. I go to the right. Like, I 2 steps out, like fall out and take 2 steps. And then like scorpion. Forehead to the green. My legs kick up over my head, right?
Oh my God.
There's like my chin makes a divot.
Oh my God. You're probably like a floppy little rag doll with all that alcohol in you.
I was, thank God, because I would have broke my neck.
Yeah. Oof.
And Doug's like, oh my God, I just killed her. Because I stayed down for a second.
Yeah.
I had to catch my breath. So could you imagine this girl falls out of a golf cart, fucking like does a nosedive, and like is face plant in the fairway and like laying there for a second.
Oh my God. That's terrifying.
They should have been concerned. And he was like, hurry up, get up. You've got grass stains on your knees. And so I like jump up. I'm like, no, I'm fine. Because you don't want
to like draw the attention to you.
You don't want to draw the attention.
You
don't want to be the buzzkill. God forbid you cry because you're in pain.
Right.
This asshole kicks you out of a cart.
I just scorpioned over here. It's like, get in.
He's like, get in, hurry. And then, this is what an asshole he is. My God, he's the worst person ever. Sorry. And then I'm like so drunk that like you should put me in the car. So he then goes to Jing. And I'm like, I need to go home. Goes inside to Jing and just like leaves the windows down for me.
Oh my God. Couldn't even take you home.
He does take me home eventually, but not then.
Yeah.
Oh, wow, you're so great.
That ain't right. Well, I think
on that note,
yeah, I don't know. I think we all just have like some deadly sins inside of us, and some more than others. Or like, I'm too prideful. I think sometimes it's probably like my biggest one.
Well, you said that last week, right?
Mm-hmm.
That your fishbowl of what are your blind spots?
Yeah.
I don't know. What's mine?
Wrath.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
I think the sins are really just ways in which we're hiding up our insecurities and our deficiencies in life.
Mm-hmm. Agreed.
And as a result of that, then it harms others.
That's a good wrap up. Boom. All right, friends. So make sure you share this episode with your bestie and take a screenshot of the episode. Tag us on Instagram at SoFiredPod and let us know what your most deadly sin is. And we'll see you next time. Bye.
Bye.
Disclaimer. This podcast is for entertainment purposes only. The stories and statements expressed herein are experiences and opinions. They may not represent the views of the production studio or the hosts. If you disagree with our content, that's okay. No podcast is perfect for everyone.